Alright guys, so welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to show you the way I clean my golf shafts, especially the ones that are getting a little rusty or that has some spotting on the shafts. And the reason for that a lot of times is when you leave your, after being wet, you leave them in the car or you leave them outside or in your garage. A lot of times there's rust on the shaft, and if you don't treat them or if you don't clean them, that could get worse and worse. And then I'll show you two different shafts, two different conditions. One is pretty bad, the other one is okay, it's just spotting. But I will show you the way that I clean them, and I think it's pretty good using just a natural product, which is vinegar. It's the same product that I used to clean the club head. But in this video, I will show you how to clean the shaft, so stay tuned. So first I will show you the condition of this shaft right here, where you can see some spotting right here and it's a little dirty as well. This will come off hopefully with vinegar. I will show you now. As you can see, there's a few spottings of rust in here. It's not that bad, but if I don't treat it, it will get worse and worse, especially if I leave it outside. And so I'm going to show you how to do this one, and then I will show you another one. The other one is this right here. This one is pretty bad. I mean, you can see that it's quite rusty here, and as well as in here. And there's some big marks, rust marks as well right here. So for this one right here, I will show you, I basically have to leave it with vinegar. Okay, so I got both shafts in there, and I have this right here, which is white vinegar from wine, and I just have a tissue paper here. So I'll show you how I do that, how I normally do this. I pour a little bit of vinegar on the tissue paper. You can use a piece of cloth, probably better to use a piece of cloth. So make sure it's enough. And what I'll do is I'll just rub it through the shaft and make sure it stays in there. So I'll put it through here like that. I'm gonna go ahead and do both, and I'm just gonna let them sit there. So make sure it gets enough. I'll just make sure I dip it, and I'll do it like twice just to make sure it gets enough vinegar. So, and then we're gonna just let it sit there. So make sure it's both ways. Vinegar has to, it takes time to get you know, to take action, I guess. So I'll leave it there, and then this right here, you can already see that something is coming out. So, but I'm not gonna scrub it away right now. I just wanna make sure I leave it there for at least like 5 to 10 minutes. So I can just leave it on top of this one, and I wait about 5 to 10 minutes. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes, and now I'm just gonna wipe it. I'm gonna do one at a time. I'm gonna show you the rust. Look at this. It comes right off. It's not gonna look like new, obviously, because it will need a lot of treatment. This one is pretty bad. This is the one that had a lot of rust on it. But when you let the vinegar settle in there for a little bit, then you start seeing this right here. So this is the all the leftover rust. Now I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go over this part right here and get somewhere out. Just wipe it all through. All right, so guys, if you want to make your shaft look like new again, you can do so by just basically wetting the shaft in vinegar. You know, just dip it like I did at the beginning of the video and leave it there for about 2 days. I will show you the results at the end of the video. It does work. And then what you can do after you wait for a couple of days, just use the back of the sponge, just the back of it, and you can scrub all those marks will come off right away. And that way you don't have to scratch the shaft, because if you use a metal brush, the dust marks will come off, but you will scratch the shaft. So you don't want to do that, because if you do that, then you will have to polish the shaft. So the easiest way to do it is just to wait there for 48 hours, and then it will come off just using the back of the sponge. I put a little vinegar on it. After you do that a couple of times, you're not going to see any more rust coming out. So if I do this, it's already taken all the dust out, the rust out, sorry. You can see that That's not, that's just wet. So basically what I'm showing you here is a quick fix. You're talking about 10 minutes if you want to just clean your shafts. If you don't have that many rust spotting, this will work. But obviously if you want to have your shaft like new again, then do what I told you at the beginning. Leave it for 2 days. I will explain later in the video, but if you just want to clean your shafts just for, just to avoid rusting or just to clean a few dust marks, then follow this procedure. But if you want to really, really get it like new again, then make sure to stick to the end of the video, and I will show you how to get everything out. Okay, so after you finish, you just want to make sure to take off the vinegar, because if you leave it there, you might need to wipe it off again. So I will just remove it. I'll get it, remove the water. And after that, we just dry it and then it should be done. Guys, so there we are. For this one, unfortunately, it looks better, but I will need to like let it sit in vinegar for like a day, and then I will have to scrub it with a brush. All right, guys, so just a quick update on the shaft that was really bad. You can see that I got most of the rust away. I did use a scrub like that, the back of a sponge, and I left it, I poured vinegar on it and I left it for actually 2 days. And then the rust spots started to come off. You can see there, it's just a matter of removing them with the sponge, with the back of the sponge. You can still see them, but I could remove them. It's just a little tedious, but it can be done. So all you gotta do is just dip it in vinegar, leave it there for like 2 days, and then scrub it with the back of the sponge, and that way you don't even have to polish the and you won't scratch it with a sponge there. So if you want it back to new, you just have to repeat the process over and over until you get it. If you don't want to polish it, or if you don't have the machine, always just dip it in vinegar. I mean, just wet it with vinegar and leave it there for like 24 hours or even 2 days, and then it will slowly start to come off. But my suggestion will be to not let it get that bad. So make sure when you play, and if it's wet, make sure to always dry your shafts before you put it in your bag. And if you start seeing rust marks, all you have to do is just put a little vinegar, let it settle there for like 10 minutes, wipe it off, and then you'll be fine. So just make sure not to leave them wet at any time. So especially when you finish your round. So just wipe it off with a towel, and then they won't get rust. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Until next time.